It's all about looking for the positives in a pandemic. Welcome to the session, Aviram. That's one of the key things which has driven his business forward. Welcome to the session. How are you?
Good, Amit. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining the session. And I'm just keen to share some of the learnings and your experiences to the business community today. After we got to have a chance to talk about it earlier on. So let's start off by maybe you telling us a bit about, the a bit about your business and what kind of services you provide.
All right. So thanks for having me. Aviram, co-founder and CEO at Landlord. Landlord, we provide landlords and property investors with a tech platform to help them run and grow their property business. So they can invest smarter, they can manage their existing investments, property investments, and also get access to finance all in one place using our digital platform.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like a one-stop shop for property investing.
Exactly. One-stop shop for property investors and existing landlords to basically do whatever they need to run their property business in a digital way.
Digital way. Amazing. So it sounds like a new piece of technology in the kind of the prop tech world, and clearly it's doing well. You said you got, was it 30,000 subscribers already to your
Yes,
platform?
yes, 30,000 users. Yes.
Amazing. So how do you go about generating such a craze or such a demand for this type of service? I mean, I think most business owners would love to have 30,000 customers in 4 years. What would you say is the secret sauce behind your ability or your experience over here?
So first, it was very challenging to get the initial traction. I remember that in our initial conversations, we said, okay, how we get the first 100
Mm.
was so tough. And then basically what we did is basically started to create some relationships with property portals to provide some content. And we launched the product just before COVID in November 2019. And what was good for us, it was bad for the world, COVID, but basically it, forced landlords to become more digital. So this definitely, and also it was a global trend to go more to digital tools. So it really helped us to get the initial traction. And also we took the opportunity and we released some features to help landlords understand what is going to happen to their rent payments, what is going to happen to their mortgage payments during the pandemic, during COVID, So basically, during this period, people were very stressful. And we tried, to answer their needs at this time in a digital way. So this actually really, speed up our registration process of new users to the platform.
Interesting. So you first of all create relationships with other potential strategic partners that can contribute towards this, and then because people are at home with their laptops, is a great way of kind of drawing all together into one platform where they can do the kind of sorting out their payments, their rent collection, all that kind of stuff to one platform. So you kind of always been thinking and creating depending on how the dynamic of the population is shifting, isn't it?
Yes, I think the most important thing that you're in like if you have the opportunity, why I'm saying like about the relationship. So you need a good product first. So
Yeah.
we really invested in the product and we like to release those features that will be actually a fit for the time. So as I said, like in COVID, tenants stopped paying rent. Mortgage lenders, allowed some user to do like also stop paying the mortgage for a while. And all of these things basically like force us to develop those features. And then, once you have the good, like a good product, then you need just people to get to know this product, that it's basically available. And then basically because of the relationships we created, it helped us basically to be in front of those people and tell them, okay, we have now a product that actually can help you during this period. So you need both. You need first, and I think it's not something that it's happened quickly.
Instantly. Yeah.
It's something that you need to work on. And I met some of those, owners of those portals few months before, and then you start with Zoom meetings, and then actually like travel to meet them like in person. It was before COVID. And then you build trust, and so important. And then they also use your product, so they personally can see that there is a real value, because if there is no value, it will not, so you can get users that register to the platform, but they will not use it. And then once they get a trust and they see that there is actually a real value that they can introduce to their audience, and then basically you can start getting traction to your business, get more, to get more users.
Yeah, so what you're saying is to create real good value first of all. By creating the value, you naturally start to attract the right kind of customers as the journey progresses, isn't it? So let's take that one step forward. So the property landscape is always changing, and there are more rules coming out, regulations coming out, and landlords are always going to be frustrated. People who are probably renting are going to be frustrated. So as you look forward into the next 2, 3 years, given you've created a platform, what kind of challenges do you reckon you and your business is going to face over the coming 2, 3 years?
It's a good question, because like I first see like the opportunities, because I think that the world and also the property world is becoming more and more digital, and you see more and more solutions that help landlords to do stuff from their home, or even if they like just they're reviewing a property, they can use the mobile to get all the information they need online. But if we speak about challenges, I think that still like the challenge that I see now is like with the senior landlords, landlords that just started like 20, 30, even 40 years ago, and now they need to adapt to the new era of technology. And they surprisingly they actually want to do this shift. And I think that it really depends how you develop the product to be more intuitive and like something that can welcome the users to use it. So it's also important the way you design it. But this is definitely a challenge. And I think like all in all, for the long term, when we speak about technology, I think that the property industry is something to stay.
It's never going to go.
Yes, well, we need to buy houses and properties to live in or to let it out. So for that, I think that this industry is here to stay, and then technology can just help and evolve, like like
So it's going to be there forever. So look at your experience. You said you've been in business for about 4 or 5 years now, and no doubt the business has grown quite quickly. And along the way, you may have made some mistakes, and you might have learned some things. So would you like to maybe share, as a business owner in the property sector, what would be the top 3 lessons you have learned that really helped you?
Okay, so the first one is like to trust your intuition. So, but test it. So what I mean, so there are like so many ideas for us, mainly because like we have like a one-stop shop. So you have so many opportunities to introduce to your users. So then you need to prioritize. And then, of course, I recommend everyone, when you prioritize or when you make any decision, use the data first. But then you need to use your intuition to decide, okay, with what you're going with, like what item takes the highest priority. But then the lesson I learned is, test it. So if you can do like what called like A/B testing, okay?
Yeah.
So you can try 2 things in parallel, or one thing with changes, and see what basically works better. And then don't be afraid to terminate things. So I needed to take some decisions in the past, like after like we work on a project for 3 months, invested a lot of resources, and cash in this project, and then you release it, and then you need to say, okay, it's not working. What I do now? I can continue to improve it and try and do more A/B testing and invest more resources on that. With the question like, what will be the ROI in the end? And then perhaps the decision that is perhaps better to do is to make is to terminate the project and shift the resources to something that perhaps,
So
in a
almost
better
getting a sense of a lot of decisiveness from you over here. So to move forward fast in a fast changing environment, you're kind of saying trust your intuition, look at data, test, measure. If it's A/B testing, involve a bit of that, but then just don't be afraid to terminate and move on and make a choice, isn't it? Because so many business owners are wrapped around and going round in circles in procrastination and not really moving forwards or backwards, just staying where they are. And we all know if you're not moving forwards, you're actually moving backwards.
Because there are many business owners, myself as well, like you fall in love with the idea, with the vision, with the feature that you had, you thought about it so much time, and then now it becomes reality, but it's not working from the other side. People actually don't use it, they don't need this service, or something is not right there. But then then you need to make a decision. And it's not just you, because let's say that you decide to terminate this project, okay? Then you need to let down the people that worked on it. They worked very hard to make this model ready. Like they work on features, they work on the marketing materials, they work on everything, and then okay, now you need to terminate it. So but as a business leader, you need to think how you communicate things. How you take the team and basically guide them around one main goal for the future, and this is the company. If you think about the company, the success of the company, then perhaps one project that is not successful, it's not so bad. Even it's good because we learned so much. Even if we terminate, we learned how to do things perhaps better.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
You kind of learn from your failures, learn from terminating, and also investing in a bit of time to stop and learn, isn't it?
Yes, and be decisive, as you mentioned before. Like, don't be afraid to take hard decisions. And here you use the data. So, for us, it was like the first rule is like to measure everything. So, like in technology, when you develop a new software, you need to measure all the metrics, which features are being like more in use, what are the flows that the users do, all of those stuff, like aggregated data that you can analyze and get insights, and based on that, understand what is working, what is not working, and based on that, you can plan ahead.
Yeah. Now, just conscious of time, but I want to squeeze in one, maybe two more questions. Artificial intelligence or AI, it's kind of making its presence felt in most industries. How do you feel AI is going to be involved in the kind of prop tech sector which you're in?
Yes. So first, I think as a business for us, and I think that many other businesses, if you utilize the AI technology, you can save a lot of time. So I think that many of the tasks that we used to do, we actually use now an AI tool like ChatGPT, and it actually worked pretty well. Of course, you need to supervise, you need to review like the artifacts, but eventually it saves a lot of time, and basically actually can do many of the tasks you need to invest like resources instead of doing that. Then from the other side, I think that our goal as business leaders is to see if we can utilize AI in our products, or if we can actually allow our users to benefit from AI. So either if you develop, algorithms by yourself, or if you use APIs and introduce, other technologies into your platform. For us, I think that, data science, AI is very important, because there's so many different types of landlords and property investors. So if you can use the data, and you can use AI to actually, find the right products, find the right in like, for instance, if you source properties, to find the properties that actually fit your preferences. So I think that AI can definitely help there, and data science algorithms, and this
Right.
is the area that we actually invest in.
Okay.
Right.
So you're seeing AI as a positive concept in your industry that can absolutely help. Now, finally, let's move forward. You've been in business for 4 years, in other industries before that for several years as well. What would be the number one advice you'd give to somebody at the age of 18 starting out a business? What would be your number one advice to them?
Okay. So first, gain experience. So perhaps I know it's not popular, but for me, I worked for companies as an employee for 20 years, before I started my own company. I'm
Mm,
not saying you need to work for 20 years, but I believe in experience. I think that, like, we discussed it like in the beginning of this session about, don't afraid to do mistakes.
mm,
So I think that, if you want to start something by your own, first learn. So, and if you work for other companies in the area, in the industry that you like, then you gain experience. Then you can perform several roles. Then you can, actually get the experience you need in order to start something by your own at some point.
amazing. So experience is key to kind of minimize the amount of mistakes you can make, but also help you learn fast as well.
Yes.
Amazing. Well, Aviram, you've shared some really good things like that have really helped you. For example, trusting your intuition, testing and measuring, doing some A/B testing along the way, and not being afraid to terminate choices that are not going to serve you. And obviously, one major thing that you'd advise any 18-year-old going into business is just gain experience, see how it's done, learn the ropes, make the mistakes somewhere else, and then come back and start your own business afterwards. My friend, you've been amazing. Thank you very much for being so abundant with sharing your experiences. I'm sure the business community today has picked up a good amount of useful information that will help them move forward in their business. Really appreciate your time, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Amit.